Welcome all who are coming in. Very happy to be here with you this evening, diving into some inner child work here. And also, if you are into receiving some Reiki healing at the end, I welcome you to stay. Welcome you to stay for the whole thing. But please feel free to take what serves you, leave what doesn't. My video looks like it's like 10 seconds delayed from my actual speaking to what it looks like it's streaming here, or at least on Instagram. I can't see how it's streaming on Facebook with the platform I use, but fingers crossed. Everything is G2G, good to go. But welcome in. So I encourage you, just going to wait a few moments here, see if some others pop in right from the very beginning. But whoever is out there, thank you for joining me. I really encourage engagement. So please just pop in a comment. Let me know that you're out there listening, out there loving. Anything that you want to share today? Anything that may require some extra love, extra healing in your heart? I have a number of things. I had an insane sickness on Tuesday that, I hadn't been that sick for like 6 years since my first time getting COVID. So I'm still getting back from that. I feel very much myself today, which is wonderful physically, but still very, very drained mentally and emotionally. So I have a ton of modalities I'm utilizing to help aid me and bring that peace that I'm seeking, that connection that I'm seeking. I have my throat chakra crystal. I always forget the name of it, nor can I pronounce it. I think it's malachite. I think it may be malachite. I think I may actually be right about this. I'm not sure. Anybody out there? Oh, thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. Much love to you. And thanks for commenting. Sometimes it gets so lonely at this end, or I feel like I'm just talking to myself. So thank you so much. But yes, my throat chakra crystal to help the message come across, the message that is meant to be shared this evening, especially with this subject. And I have my desert rose that reminds me of my mentor. So it's like this little symbol that I purchased that just reminds me of her strength, and it adds to my strength. So that I have rose quartz, clear quartz, a whole ton here. I have a lot of smoke. I have my sandalwood, which I love. I'm really connected to sandalwood. I have fire elements all over. You can't really tell, but all over my room. Since I've been making candles, I've been making a ton of candles for myself. It's like the best part of the job. So I have just a ton of candles lit. I am very much an ambiance girl. So I have that, and I have my Palo Santo, my smudging thing. So I have done that. And I actually wanted to, on the live, kind of set my space, which is something I tend to do off camera. But I had just come back from a long day of work, and I'm committed to showing up. And I did not have the time before, setting my space up to also, and cleansing the space to set the space energetically. So I was like, oh, universe, what a treat for me to be able to do this over a live and to just share with you all what I can, the way that I do that. So a lot of it will be silent. because I can't really speak much things out loud, because they are part of sacred ceremony when you become attuned to Reiki. So I will be doing that, but please watch and add your beautiful energy in whenever you're watching this video, because time is a construct. So energy is consistent and energy is forever. So just kind of join me in this. And you can just kind of maybe put, if you're holding a phone, just one hand, or if you're on a computer screen, both hands like I am, but most likely you're on a phone. So just maybe add just one hand to your screen, or just hold your phone and close your eyes and just focus your intention on creating this space for us all to really enjoy this, what may be pretty heavy of a live stream, depending, but so you can go ahead and close your eyes, setting your intention of love, creating safety and truth and connection to each other, no matter where we are and no matter what part of time that you're viewing this, because the energy is still felt and it will be felt then. I feel it in my hands already. So I'm going to go ahead and call in some things to secure this space, to allow it to not be penetrated by forces that are not of the collective's highest good, that all things brought into this space for this live stream tonight be of love and for the best of the highest selves of the collective. I call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. I call upon my healed ancestors, my spirit guides, and my spirit animals. I call upon the healed ancestors and the spirit guides and the spirit animals of all who are watching at whatever point they are watching this, to aid in the healing and the love of this space. I activate my healing hands. All right. So welcome. I am Kara of Awaken the Light. Thanks for hopping on and kind of chatting with me about the subject of the inner child. I don't have a script for this today. I don't even have a scripted meditation. I really wanted this to be something very, very authentic, very, very genuine in the moment. For me to be able to express, I think, what this work is, where the shadow can happen when you are working with the inner child, because we are, as human beings, we can be so wounded as children in so many different ways. I mean, it can be very literal ways, and it can be very energetic ways, and most of the time it's both. I'm going to pause for a moment because I see a lot of people coming in and out, which I love, and thank you so much. Please pop in a comment, interact with me. It gets really lonely speaking to the ether world here, so please feel free to send a heart or a hello. Anything that your soul is wanting to share, you're wanting to be heard in any way, I am here for you, and I'm here to hold it in this space. It is my true dharma and my work to do that. So please do feel free to drop a comment. So going back, yeah, it's gonna be my thought came and then it went. So I'm sure that if universe wants me to speak it, it'll come back. So moving forward with inner work and what the inner child is, you know, we are raised as human beings by other human beings who are raised by other human beings, and so on and so forth, right? You're getting my point here. And the trick of that is, it really is like it's trauma being raised by trauma, being raised by trauma, being raised by trauma. That's why people that do the work that I do, we speak so much about our ancestors and the ancestral lineage, and it's important. And a big reason why it's so important is because, like I spoke to this from the start, you know, energy is a constant. Energy is forever. And when we create, whether it be an action, a word, a thought, an emotion, when things are created, there's energy behind them, and they leave an imprint. And then that imprint sticks. And now we have the opportunity to revisit imprints and do what we call heal them, right? Do what we call, and what that healing really is. When you're healing something, that's emotional, that's energy, that's energetic, and sometimes physical, right? When you break a bone, and when you heal that bone, it's not going to be the same as before, right? And sometimes if it was already faulty, maybe it could be better, like if you get a surgery on it or something, but that it requires work to maintain that. It will require physical therapy, and for you to have a specific diet or a physical action or whatever the case may be, right? So it's the same thing with energy. The thing with ancestral wounding is that, you know, these energetic imprints, they're left and they're there. But the cool thing is we can revisit them, we can go back to them, and then aid in that healing. And that healing is really, first and foremost, like most things in life, drawing attention to it, acknowledging it. What is this imprint that could be, that is damaging, that is trauma? Or what is this imprint that is so beautiful, that is like so joyous and delicious? Because we have those too. I mean, it's all dimensions here, right? Well, when we work with inner child wounds and inner child work, our first thought goes to what happened to me when I was little, or when I was an adolescent, that caused me pain, caused me fear, caused me anxiety, caused me stress, caused me these things that maybe as an adult I can wrap my brain around a little bit more because of life experience, but then I couldn't. So it left an imprint, and it's still affecting me because it left an imprint in my DNA. So it's affecting me. And I want to address it again. I want to bring light to it again so that maybe I can understand it more. Because with the understanding comes what we call the healing. I get really, really nervous about sometimes the language that I'm using or that's being used, because I don't really like to call myself a quote unquote healer, because I don't believe that. I mean, I'm not like, I don't feel like I'm not healing anything, right? I may have done work and studies, taken mentorship under other people who have done studies. I may have ancestral wisdom within me that I don't even know where it comes from, because that is an absolute truth. I have this wisdom within me since I've been a child that my parents can attest to, that is truly ancestral. Like, it's not something that it's in my DNA, which is a beautiful, delicious imprint, energetic imprint that I have. And I also have trauma, right? And then we also have those hard imprints, right? So anyway, going back to the healer things, I like to be careful with the way that I speak sometimes, because I want you to always be reminded of the truth. And the truth is that you are the healer. I'm not some special thing here. That, it's probably why my business isn't thriving and I'm not making millions of dollars, because I don't play to victimhood. I don't allow people to fall into their victimhood, and that victim mindset. I don't agree with it. I don't think that it's healthy. So I'm not here trying to sell you on Reiki. I'm not here trying to sell you that I am this healer that can magically heal all of your child wounds and trauma and whatever it is that you got going on in your life. It's not what this is about. I am here to help guide and love you through you understanding that healing is understanding, that healing is forgiveness, that healing is unconditional love. And the healing comes when you are able to give that not only to others, but to yourself. So when I decided to make this live stream, I posted this little, well, I'm not very little. I'm an adolescent in the picture. If you see it on my Instagram wall, that was a Bayonne High School's junior prom. Shout out to Neil Wusu. Thanks for letting me go with you. And my girl Missy, who took this picture. But adolescent Kara was going through it. She was having a really hard time. And I had an addict mother, and I became an addict myself at a very early age. Was very much an addict in this picture. I didn't have the parental support that I needed, the guidance that I needed, and it's it's not that it's somebody's fault. I understand that. Going back to the very beginning of this live, my parents were raised by parents who had trauma from their parents, who had trauma from their parents. And I think that I am just here choosing to break that cycle with doing this work and doing the hard shadow work to understand, so that I can forgive, so that I can unconditionally love, which is the healing of these wounds. these ancestral wounds, these imprints over time, over time, over time. I invite you to like take a look for a moment, just sit with yourself and take a mind look at, you know, if you know, like your family history, like, you know, things about your mom and your dad, or your mom's and your dad's, you know, whatever beautiful family that you come from. Take a look at the people who raised you. And then if you knew the people who raised them, or if you knew of the people who raised them, if you knew anything about, think about how far back as you can go. I'm really blessed to know a lot about both sides. Well, not really both sides of my lineage, but definitely my mother's lineage. My father's I'm diving into for sure. That's the Cuban side of me. My mother is Irish, and she has a bigger family. My father was an only child, and he's pretty much the only one left now. So, and he never really invested in looking into that, but my mother did. So I was kind of blessed to get to know a lot of that family. But just take a moment and take a look into what you know. And then when we get off of this, what you may want to dive into, right? And of course, we can see, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, we can always we can always say, you know, my mom should have, my father should have known better. You know, they could have, you know, XYZ. But when you begin to understand that these are all just people who most likely, and probably most likely too, because of generation, I'm not assuming anything on anybody. Again, this is all personal experience, but like there were healing forms of therapy, especially the work that I do in Western culture and here in America. I mean, not really being done, right? Everybody is sweep it under the rug, you know. You know, this was something I always heard, not only from my family, but like my friends' parents and stuff like that. Well, I went through this, and you know, I'm fine. I don't understand why they think they need this therapy. They you know, and it's really just you ignoring it. Isn't healing, right? Ignoring it isn't trying to understand. Ignoring it isn't getting forgiveness or unconditional love, you know. So how is the healing happening there? So you know, it's our time. It's the time now in the world, no matter what age you are. It's not like just for me as a millennial or anyone younger than me. Like, this is for everyone alive. It's this time now is the time to embrace something different than what you knew that is supposed to be right. And what that may mean is doing some really fucking hard work of going deep within you and seeing these pains caused by others, caused by you, by your own actions of what you may have done to others, which is shit that I carry too, especially when I was a teen on drugs. Like, sorry, that was my cat. I got nervous. But, you know, this is not everybody is going to be able to do this, and I understand, because this is not for the weary. But when you dive in to that inner child and you start speaking to them and you start having this conversation, a lot of really scary and sad and anxious and stressful shit's gonna come up. That's the work. And whatever emotions arise through that are valid, and you're allowed to have that. It can be rage, it can be anger, it can be extreme sorrow. And this is all, of course, in the realms of things that you're seeking to heal, you know, because remember, we have those joyous and delicious imprints as well. Like just a moment ago, I have this divine ancestral wisdom since I've been a child, that I have no idea why I am the way I am since I've been a kid, with the ways of understanding and forgiveness and love, and just some things that just I know that weren't actually taught to me in this life, may have been taught to me in another life that I carry with me into this one. Maybe just rising up this beautiful lineage line for me to be able to express it on this platform. But when you go to the trauma, and when you go to the inner wounds, the things that are not so delicious, that are not so joyous, you know, those things that made you who you are today, that gave you that strength, right? Or gave you the know about certain things in life, certain walks of life. They may have given you, you know, a strength, a realization of things, whatever the case may be, but it doesn't mean that they still don't fucking hurt. You know, it still doesn't mean that maybe you start crying for no fucking reason one day and you have no idea why. I mean, maybe little one knows though, because these are these imprints that stick with us. They're in your DNA, and they're looking for that light, not this light of Reiki, right, to magically heal me. Like, no, not that. They're looking to be illuminated by you, the empowered healer, to be illuminated so that they can be seen. And when they're seen, they can be understood. When it's understood, it can be forgiven. And when it's forgiven, it can be loved. And this is the healing. This is the healing. So I'm going to kind of pause there with my discussion of inner child stuff, because I really feel like that is the message that I wanted to share with you all today. That is the message that she wants me to share with you on this beautiful platform that I'm able to today. And we're going to do some Reiki healing for you. I'm going to get you now seated comfortably or laying down. Not that one. This is the one I want. I'm going to raise this music a little bit. Get comfy, get cozy. Wiggle it out a little bit. And when you feel ready, I like to crack my neck. When you feel ready, find yourself in a comfortable position, laying down or seated, crisscross applesauce, or on a chair like I am, with the soles of your feet touching the ground. Start with the breath. Breathing in and out. And with each inhale, seat that breath a little deeper. Allow your body to expand and then retract. Make noise on that exhale. We don't have to be in some Zen Buddhist meditation at this moment. I just want you to get comfortable, feel it. Feel it in your body, feel the breath in your body. That requires a little movement. I like to adjust my hips a lot when I'm getting ready to sit in meditation for a little bit, or even sit to receive some reiki. Just want to really feel seated. I want to feel like the lower half of my body is the root of a tree. And I want to breathe so deep that I feel the soles of my feet tingling. I invite you to just imagine that breath going in and out of the soles of your feet. You know, the soles of your feet are portals. They're energetic portals for your body to breathe and release energy. So I invite you to connect with that. And I am here to safely hold and support you as you breathe deeper into this space. Noticing parts of your body that feel really tense. And on each exhale, you're releasing the tension in that spot. I invite you to swallow, releasing your tongue, your larynx. Very good. Relax your jaw, your face, all tension. Breathing in, releasing out. Whether you're sitting or laying down, I invite you to bring one hand and place it onto your chest, and the other hand right under your chest or breast area. It's that solar plexus area. You can look at the camera if you're unsure of where I'm speaking to. Hopefully you heard me when I stood up. Breathing in. Oh, expanding there and releasing out. And sit with yourself here for a moment. Begin to dive into yourself as if you're diving into a vast, deep ocean. And within yourself, you can breathe underwater. How beautiful is that? So never feel like you're suffocating, because you're able to breathe here in this realm of the inside. So I want you to dive down and swim with each breath. And you come across a lotus, and it's not bloomed yet, and it can be any color you desire. It does not matter. Whatever speaks to you, just imagine that beautiful colored lotus. And it's just looking like a little star, little triangle-y star diamond-y thing before it's about to bloom open. Breathing in. And on this next exhale, one petal falls. Release it open. Breathing in. And on that next exhale, the next petal falls. Breathing in. And on that next exhale, another petal falls. Breathing in. The fourth petal then falls on that exhale. Breathing in. The fifth petal falls. Breathing in. Your sixth and final petal falls open. It's just beautifully floating there in the middle of this vast sea of your inner self. And there is a radiant, glowing being that is in the middle of this lotus. And as you swim closer, you are noticing that it is you. It is whatever version of your inner child that you wish to speak to tonight or in this moment. It can be an infant you. It can be a toddler you, a middle schooler you, a preteen you, an adolescent you, all children versions of yourself here within this beautiful lotus. And you go and you swim over to little you, and you sit right next to them. They just want to be acknowledged. So say hello. Maybe hold their hands or hold them in a hug. Maybe even rest their head upon your lap in the middle of this beautiful lotus that is just floating in the vast sea that is you. And all we're going to do for this meditation is breathe. Breathe with your little one. I encourage you to really close your mind down as much as you can and focus within to listen. I'm going to be doing the reiki portion now while you're breathing with your little one. And then I am going to just sign off and allow you to sit in this space and have some alone time with your little one when I'm done. I encourage you to journal and write down anything that comes up during this time with you and your little one while you're breathing together, meditating together, and listening. Allow them to talk and allow yourself to listen. And I love you all a lot. At this time, to yourself or to our out loud, just say, I accept this Reiki healing energy. Mm. I love you all.